This next house proves all it takes is a couple cans of paint and a few garage sale signs to change your home into something that'll have you saying, "Look what I did."
Hi, my name is Christine Claringbold and I live in Portland, Oregon. You'd be surprised what you can do with a little paint, some old LPs, and a lot of imagination. Come look what I did in my psychedelic bedroom. So it all started with that light fixture. It was just a plain old light fixture in the middle of a huge ceiling. And I said, hey, I wish I had a chandelier or something. But instead I decided to paint this amazing design on my ceiling. So I use basic shapes like circles and eyeballs, some heart shapes and some triangles and flowers, and globules and dewdrops and loopy scoopies and petals. My husband first came home and saw me standing on a ladder painting on the ceiling of the bedroom. He was a little surprised.
I thought that Christine was having a Michelangelo experience at first. She was up on a ladder with a pencil and her neck craned up at the ceiling.
He said, "Wow, what are you doing?"
And the next day, there was color involved in it, and I was blown away.
I use paint as though it were a living entity. My interior design is inspired by the paintings that I've done in the room. I've added some extra dimension by hanging up a lot of my painted mandala records. A mandala is basically a circular design with a pattern that radiates out from the central point. These are some of my painted records. This is one of my clocks. If you look at it, it's kind of cool when you spin it. It's kind of like a kaleidoscope. This kaleidoscope right here is one of my big inspirations because when I look at it, it takes everything and mirrors it and divides it up and makes all these new cool patterns. And that's what I love. To paint a record, I start out by spray painting it with a plastic primer. I made this board so I can prime up to 16 records at a time. All of these records were given to me by a friend who found them at a school where she works. They had been donated to the school, but the school didn't want them anymore because they're kind of scratched up and old. Now I'm going to give them a new life.
I have a very large record collection myself, and sometimes I get very worried about their whereabouts. So nowadays, when she starts painting records, I have to go down and double check to make sure that she doesn't have any of the good prized possessions.
Once the primer's dry, I put it on my drafting table where I have nailed a spinning Lazy Susan to the desktop so that I can spin it and it makes me draw and paint a lot faster. After I finished the multicolored ceiling, I decided that I wanted to have each wall have a monochromatic color scheme. With just the supplies that I used, paints, brushes, the glow-in-the-dark medium, I'd say it was under $200 to do that whole room.
I think it's a completely amazing job Christine has done with the supplies that we had on hand already and the few things that she needed to buy. I think it's really groovy.